Hello. Yeah, right now. So we're gonna talk facts today, right? All right. So I'm gonna try to not take too long this time because yesterday it was kind of a long, kind of a long live. So um, let's see here. So today we're gonna talk about everything that's happening right now and how it relates to us. I don't know if you know or if you guys feel it, but everything's chaos. I mean, you don't even have to feel it. You just have to open your phone, right? Um, let's see. Mhm. So, hello guys, Linda, my number one fan, Renteria Pro. Um, so we're gonna talk about how everything is pretty weird, how everything is pretty much chaotic everywhere. Um, you have chaos at home, chaos in the streets, chaos at work, chaos your mind everywhere, right? So if you're feeling it, I don't know, write something or just say me too. And like I said, I mean the world feels off, right? Like it's unstable, it's chaotic, and everything you thought was solid, um everything you once had like how could I explain? Everything you once thought was a solid thing, even like family members or people that you probably like associate with, um simply like things that you start to notice that maybe you didn't see before, and then you start to wonder like, am I crazy for thinking this? Am I losing it, Mr. Krabs? And before we get going, I guess, uh thank you for watching. It's been pretty cool to see kind of like, or to hear from people that I've never heard from, um or to get to know new people, because that's the whole point. We're literally all going through it right now, and all we can do is kind of be there for each other, right? And in those moments where you're asking yourself, am I crazy? Is it just me? Why does everything feel so intense right now? Like, everybody is just in their full moon mood, right? If that's you, then say me. um, and if you've been feeling that, uh, it's because it's happening. I mean, the reason you're feeling all this is because it needs to, because you're starting to wake up. Hello, Ellie. Go ahead and like, share, follow, and stay a little bit so that you can see what we're talking about, right? And the reason why everything is chaotic right now, it's not just your mind that is imagining things. I don't know if you guys noticed, but everybody's kind of like on different timelines, right? Unfortunately enough, that even though there's many protests right now, here in town, we haven't been. It hasn't been as chaotic as it has been in other places, and watching videos and stuff, like, it's scary. It's scary for the people that are there, and then sometimes you're mind blown at how some people just choose to pretend like it's AI, or that people are lying to get something. Like, the I sometimes just don't understand how simply somebody that hurts a dog, man. You have bad vibes. How are you gonna like? Let's put it this way: how are we pursuing criminals when our own president is a criminal? That's just a. I feel like everyone is just, yeah, everybody's defensive because everybody's being called out. Everybody's showing their true colors. So everybody's watching the role that they're playing and all this, the role they played, and nobody likes to see themselves. Everybody is confronting all their mirrors, all their reflections, you know? Everybody's seeing what it is and everybody's disappointed. And the external chaos is, like I said, your mirror pretty much. So what's actually happening right now is in the world, we have political chaos, we have economic instability, we have social system breakdown, we have leaders failing, right? We have institutes crumbling, we have everything that we once thought was normal or that we once supported or that we once firmly believed in is crumbling. Everything is shifting, right? What's really happening, and this is, you have to pay attention here because if you're acknowledging the fact that everything is shit right now, hello. Wow, thank you. Um, if you're right now seeing all these things that are happening and then you try to ignore it and say, no, 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 make excuses for yourself as to why it's happening, because that's how you're doing. You're ignoring the truth. Then maybe this isn't for you. But if you really are feeling it, then you need to understand that this is a collective dark night of the soul, pretty much. It's where individuals go through the dark night and where your old identity, the old habits, the old patterns, everything that needs to move out of the way dies so that we can be reborn, so that we can make way for all the new possibilities that exist, right? And the world is pretty much at a threshold right now. And you're feeling it because you're part of it. You are part of that movement, right? You're part of that one thing that, thank you so much, Ellie. You're part of like that shift that is causing all these chaotic feelings inside of you, right? Or simply in the air. And the chaos out there, and this is what people miss, right? Everybody is seeing how things out externally are benefiting them materially within, right? And that's not what we need to look at. Here's what people are missing out, okay? The chaos out there is actually reflecting the chaos that needs to happen inside you. Think about it. Everything that we learn in school right now, if you're in any type of business class, any type of emotional intelligence class, all the foundations are about having emotional intelligence and being able to respond appropriately to situations, right? To be conscious of your surroundings. If we believe it in business, why can't we believe it within our personal growth? Right? Think about it. When you see a government failing, you ask yourself, what authority in my life is being questioned right now? Well, that's why I'm here, girl. That's what I'm doing here for you guys. That's why I wait anxiously to be here on time, because I want to tell you guys about it. And I feel like that was my purpose. And this is your guys' purpose. If you're watching right now, this is not just like coincidence. This is a beautiful dance of what's supposed to happen. It's like a little synchrony dance of timelines that are pretty much interacting right now because something within you told you to listen, right? And something within me told me to be consistent, to show up every single day. Because let me tell you, if this is your first time watching, I'm not somebody that shows up every day. Whenever I try to start something, I get easily drained. And I stop doing it because I sometimes don't have faith in myself. But because I learned how to do that, I want to share it with you guys. Because honestly, it's brought me so much more peace. And I'm somebody that was a chaos, externally, internally, and everywhere around. But pretty much what we're doing is, whenever the government fails, for example, you ask yourself, what authority do you have, or what authority in your life needs to be questioned right now? What principles do we have right now with everything that is going around? What are you going to believe in? Are you still going to follow a criminal? Or are you still going to do what's morally correct? Or what you're being expected to do? And when you see an economic system fail, right? Hi, mama. My mama's watching. When you see an economic system fail, right? You have like you think yourself like, what have I been buying into that doesn't actually serve me? Like what for me, I have a bunch of shit that in my house that is literally just things that I'm hoarding because I don't use. And right now that I'm not working right. I'm gonna tell you guys about that story. But right now, like I'm thinking about all this money I spent on stupid things that I thought were gonna fill a hole within me. You figured out. Honestly, I think I have. And if you watch a little bit longer, I'm gonna show you, and hopefully, like something that I say resonates, or you're able to relate to it because you're watching for a reason. So when everything that we once knew starts to collapse, we start to question ourselves like, what version of me is ready to die? Or what things do I need to change within, right? In this world, things don't just randomly fall apart, okay? They're mirroring back what needs to transform. Many times, the things that you hate in other people are things that you are insecure about within yourself. You hate somebody because they're doing something, for example, and this is very common. One of the things that kept me from doing this for so many years, or simply just when I first was at my worst, because right now I'm still in the progress, and I'm inviting you guys to go with me and to show you exactly it is, but then we use it so easily, right? We spread it so easily. Worse than COVID. Look at all around us. That's all we were taught. To hate what you don't know because we fear it. So I had a very important, or a very like, when you're actually going through pain is when you need to listen the most, because you can either stay there or you can look within and say, you know what, because it's not the other person's fault, and it's not nobody's fault. It's not even your fault. Everything has to do with how we were raised, the things that you were made believe, and the things that inside of you already knew, but you had to doubt yourself, because that's what everything that we live in is built on. So everything that's mirroring back at us is what needs to transform, right? So your old identity or your old belief, what's dying within you right now? What is something that you're having issues with? Is it a relationship? Are you trying to be the perfect daughter, the perfect wife? Are you trying to have the perfect career? Are you a people pleaser? Are you the person that says that you don't need help because you got it under control? And you probably do. There's many moms that do a million things throughout the day, and honestly, they don't get the credit that they deserve, because being a mom is like a 24/7 job, 365 days a year. And I feel like that's probably the hardest job that anybody can do. Man, popping them out is probably a mission itself. So the question you're really asking when you're sitting here, when everything is so fucked up around us, when you think that everything is hard, you're watching part of yourself that dies and that's not comfortable. Why? You we're meant to fear what we don't know, right? So because we don't know it, we're always in survival mode, and we don't realize how much our childhood affected us because we think we're so okay. We went to therapy and everything, right? But did we really sit with our mistakes? Did we really see ourselves in like a third point of view? How would you have acted with and confronting yourself in your worst moments? And what did you learn from it? Do you ever want to feel like that again? Do you ever want to be in that situation again? Those are the questions you need to ask. How is it when somebody goes through a traumatic event, they lose somebody, or let's say for example, they're victims of abuse that maybe you and I don't understand, right? When they come out of this situation and they truly learn from it, they always want to be an advocate, right? They want to help other people in that situation. And they're probably the best people to help them, because you know what? I don't know what it feels like. I do know what it feels like, but I haven't been able to well, I guess it's a little bit different when you're constantly being physically abused rather than emotionally. And let me tell you guys, some of our mental issues are created from the environment we're in. Autism sometimes can be caused by being in a constant abusive, environment, because you end up believing what they want you to believe. You're brainwashed to not believe within your with yourself. It's so easy for us to believe in God, right? So easy for us to have faith in the outer things. We're always searching externally, but everything else tells us to search within. Now that's impossible to do, right? How? And we're going to address one question, okay? Is it safe to trust myself when nothing feels certain? Have you guys ever asked yourself that? Now, I'm not here to talk to you about, thank you, I push. I'm not here to talk to you about religion. I'm here to talk to you about God. I don't have a religion. If I did, I would say I'm not Gnostic, because I believe that we all have something we need to believe in outside of ourselves, but it's part of us. And if we think that one person is going to come and save the world, you're wrong. If we're all part of Him, we all need to search within and learn so that we can help each other find that same path that you just found and you're perpetually happy in. That's how we become one. When that happens, that's when He's here, because all of those little pieces come together. But we're too selfish sometimes to see that. And we're too prideful to acknowledge our selfishness. I've been humiliated millions of times. I've humiliated myself millions of times simply doing this alone. Like, people that known me from 20 years ago would not expect me to be here talking, because I was a very negative person, very stubborn, very argumentative, very miserable. My dad was an abusive father. I didn't have a perfect family. And for a long time, I blamed my parents' divorce on me. I feel guilty for it. But you know what? It wasn't even my mom's fault. It wasn't my dad's fault. It was the culture that we keep on passing, the same generational guilt that wasn't even yours. It's not your parents' fault. It's all based on what we knew at the moment. But you know what the cool thing is? That we can grow from that and we can become better people. And we can help other people that have been there before to wake up and to start valuing themselves. And it's not an insult. Love that. Hobo Johnson, who's that? I don't take anything as insult. Honestly, like, it's a different perspective. I learned something. That's how I see it. It came out for a reason, right? Made you go back in a way. So, is it safe to trust yourself when everything else is uncertain? And you got to listen to this. Your intuition, that's the only thing that's reliable right now. That gut feeling you get. Hi, Maria. That gut feeling you get. Like when you meet somebody and your stomach turns. That's not a coincidence. That's literally part of your powers. You're gonna think I'm crazy, and that's okay. I don't mind, because I know that I'm gonna continue to grow, and you're gonna stay in the same place if you're so narrow-minded. And it's not in an offense, but isn't it sad to just be consistent all the time? Don't you get bored of the same show, the same replays? Because if you think about it, all your downfalls, it's the same situation and the same outcome, just different faces in a different environment. It's like you're living, what was that Valentine's movie or whatever, where she kept waking up and like she kept dying every single day? Or something, like, I don't know, it's like a movie on repeat. That's literally what we do when we continue to put ourselves in the same situation because we believe that this time it's going to be different. When within ourselves we know that it's not. And you see it. You can't bullshit a bullshitter, right? It's crazy because people would try to lie to me, and it's like, come on, man. Why? Because people that are that are empaths, people that are angry all the time, and then as they get older, they continue to get softer hearts, to have more compassion, to understand things differently, to start to show up differently. Those are the ones that feel all the shifts in the energies, the ones that are always trying to make everybody feel okay but don't worry about themselves. And I'm telling you because I was that. When my parents separated, I thought I was in charge of everybody's emotions. Because I felt so guilty of the separation. I would get anxious if somebody was upset. I tried to fix things that did not belong to me. And it's until you acknowledge that you'll be like truly free. And the chaos is pretty much forcing you back into your inner knowing, right? What you already know, it's just reassuring it back to what you came here for. And you can feel, you can sense it, but then you try to convince yourself that you're crazy, that it's not true, that you're just imagining things, that maybe it's what you were drinking, maybe the water. But it's actually a feature. I've always known this for some reason, and I've always talked about this. Man, I knew that all this shit was gonna happen a year ago. And maybe that's why I'm not in that environment anymore, because they would have hated me telling them every single day, I told you so. But you know what? I love saying I told you so. So maybe that's why it's happening, because it's marking that you can't doubt me because I'm saying the truth. I've always had an issue with people. You know, if you're gonna talk shit about me, if we're in customer service, I'd rather you show that you're having a shitty day than you making me feel like I am an important customer when you don't give a fuck about me. Because I've been a customer service advisor, and I think that when you're your authentic self, that's when you form the best relationships, the best friendships, the best customer service relationship. That's when you want to go back to that one place, because that's when you travel cross state so that you can go and this one person can help you. Because I would have many of those, and I'm talking facts. Hello. So your soul, your gut feeling, that's your direct knowing, okay? Why do you feel so alone even though everybody is going through this? Well, that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here, because at some point when I was going through all this shit, just because your dad is an alcoholic, you're not going to be an alcoholic. You have a choice. We all have a choice. And you can either be mad about it all the time, but at the end of the day, you're only advice for an 18-year-old. Well, tell me what you want advice on, and I'll try my best. But when you think that your past defines you, you're very wrong. Advice for an 18-year-old, I would say enjoy your youth. Because I'm 36 right now, and I think a lot back on my high school days, and I'm like, damn, like I used to go home, I would have lunch, and then I would go home, but I wouldn't even have lunch. I would just go home because I lived like a block away. And I wish I would have been more out there. I wish I would have talked to more people. If you feel like you want to talk to somebody, go up to them. If you see somebody that's shy, go up to them, because you never know what they're going through. And you could completely change their day. And that could be a door for you as well. For you to learn about yourself. And don't always give your whole love to one person. You have to love yourself first. You have to set yourself boundaries in order to know what places you're welcomed in and what places you're not. Okay, Mr. Apple user. So, pretty much we're all collectives here. We're all part of the threshold. You're part of the dark night. You're part of all this nonsense that I'm telling you. Part of all the witchcraft that you thought was scary. Like, you're part of it. And why? Because think about it. You're curious, right? You ask questions that you didn't understand, or you ask questions that most people don't even care about thinking. For example, I stopped going to church because when I was at church, I felt like everybody around me was being a hypocrite. Like, why am I here praising God when I know that lady over there talks shit about the other lady over here? And when I'm sitting here judging everybody around me, what kind of, like, thank you guys, what kind of emotion am I bringing here? And I said to myself, you know what? I'm not gonna go to church until I truly feel like I want to go. And I never wanted to go because I knew for a fact that things didn't sit right with me. Right? Think about it, guys. Right now, are you hearing more about Mary Magdalene? Are you hearing more about the female side of things? Right? We have those scrolls that just came up where in reality and what did that president of, what was it? There was a president that recently, um, yeah, God is everywhere, but we're always told to or to search externally. But think about it. Everywhere it says that we're all part of God, right? So when you pray to God, you're technically praying for yourself or to yourself. So if you have that much faith in God, why is it impossible to have so much confidence within you? If you think you're the hottest piece of fucking ass here, why can't you be the same when you have a hard decision or a responsibility to take? When you already know the answer, but you choose to do a selfish thing because you just don't want to be responsible for it. You just don't want to deal with the chaos. Let me tell you right now, those muscles don't mean shit if you can't admit your truth. If you can't say, you know what, I fucked up. And exactly, he is. And you know what he sent us Jesus for? So that we can have a visual interpretation of what you do when you come to him at your worst. You're coming at him with all your sins, right? The cross that he carried. And he said, what did he say? God, Father, please forgive him, or something like that. I haven't read the Bible, to be honest, but my whole family's Catholic. No, I don't choose to live in sin. I choose to follow my gut, actually. You're right now sinning because you're assuming without even knowing me. That's what I'm saying. Like, no, I don't read the Bible. I actually started looking externally because I don't need to read the Bible. The Bible is going to tell you that the female is beneath the man. And you need to understand, female gives life. Female's uterus is literally the shape of the Holy Grail. Mary Magdalene was the spiritual connection between us and God, the one that leads us to that path, because we're all consciousness. We're all pure consciousness before but whatever I want here. We're consciousness before we come into this body. So when you come in here, you forget about your whole purpose. There is no after death, sir. Whenever you die and you truly know your worth, all you're doing is, if you didn't complete your purpose this life, because if you think that your purpose, what if you girls were here? I don't even know who you are. You know what's crazy? And I'm going to say this right now. A lot of people have been like pretty shady, making like fake accounts, trying to see what I'm doing. And I honestly, this is only giving me more clout, so go for it. I welcome it because it was meant to be. You were meant to be here. The purpose is to live for yourself so that is actually, you're living in God's purpose when you do that. When you have compassion for each other, when you teach others the way. When you let go of the material things, you detach yourself from the material things. Because remember, when you die, you leave naked, the way you came in, baby. So what good does it do you to have money in your pocket right now? Because what happens when that money's gone? That money defines you, or the material things define you, to the point that you're nothing without them. That's why you go through bad situations, because you need to be at your worst in order to understand other people's situations. Because when we don't, we fear it and we judge. We judge blindly. We think we know. But it's like, I don't even get mad at this point, because I feel like many times People act based on what they fear within. I honestly, people can say I'm crazy. People can say I'm schizophrenic. I don't care. At the end of the day, there's peace within me. And I don't have anything keeping me up at night. And I'm trying to share that with you guys. Because you see all the tarot things, and you're always going to have people that are going to have pushback. You're always going to have people that are going to be like, no, this is the way it's going to be. I'm not saying that this is how it should be. I am just trying to tell you how I'm living it and what's working for me. I'm sharing my experience to those people that are going through the same thing. And ironically, the people that talk to me, the people that have reached out, are actually people that have somewhat gone through something similar. Why? Because we're taught to not acknowledge our feelings, especially in our Hispanic culture. We're taught to stay quiet, to not make anybody else feel uncomfortable. So that when somebody comes and confronts you and you answer back and you set your boundaries, what happens? You get pushback. You get people that get angry. You get people that get confrontational. Why? Because you're making them question their truth. You're making them question the things that they once believed in. And all you can do at that point is just welcome them with love and understand that they're probably not at that point yet. Or maybe they weren't meant to be. And be grateful that you are. That's where the compassion comes from. What kind of person would I be if I would just hate everybody and not acknowledge that everybody has a different rate of growing, right? And those are the things that before would have probably pushed me to not do these things, because I feared that people weren't going to agree with what I had to say. At this point, everything's going to shit. So you can either believe what I say and go away and do your thing and live happily, or you can continue to do the same shit you're doing and live miserably. At the end of the day, we all have to do our own work. I can't do it for you. You can't do it for me. So, but anyways. So when your family and friends don't understand it, even though we're all going through similar things, right? It's actually a part of initiation, right? Because there's all these situations that are similar. If somebody loses someone and I go through a breakup, their pain is not greater than mine, because we're all different minds. We're all different worlds. We all have different main characters. We all have the evil person or the one force that's trying to stop you. So you can't disregard it as being more important. No, thank you. That's actually the reason why. But I'm not going to get into that, because this is what I'm saying. We're all living in a different reality. We're all choosing what we want to choose to believe. I honestly feel like I don't go for either side, because he's admitted that it doesn't matter what you voted for. He's publicly admitted it, but we choose not to see it. Why? Because whatever he's doing is beneficial to us personally, materialistically, in some way, right? We're not thinking about shit that could have been my daughter that was raped, or that could have been my wife. But we're following criminals that committed DUIs, yet I just don't understand that concept, man. I don't care what side you're in, but if we're going to chase criminals, we're going to chase all criminals, okay? We ain't going to pick sides. And we're going to start with the most obvious one, right? Just saying. But anyway, moving along. The loneliness in your journey it doesn't mean that you're alone. It actually means that you're someone who's walked this before. You've done this before in a different lifetime. You're somebody who's already witnessed yourself trying to fix this whole chaos within you, right? And that's like, nobody is ever going to know your true feelings but yourself and that little narrator in your head. Think about it. What's the one thing that we ask ourselves, or we ask ourselves whenever we're in a bad situation, whenever we have a bad situation at work? Should I leave or should I stay? And if you're asking yourself this question, think about it. You already know the answer. The first thing that came into mind, or the first thing that made you even question yourself, you know the answer. You're just scared to act. And fear is always going to be our greatest enemy, right? What I've learned is that when everything outside is falling apart, the only one thing that gives you permission to make any changes, anything that you're afraid of, is you. Oh my God, our president is crap. Oh my God, there's war. Well, then I might as well just quit my job because I'm not happy and I don't know if I'm going to be here tomorrow. The systems are breaking. Well, you know what? Then you might as well leave that friendship or that relationship, because isn't it draining to pretend all the time? That chaos that's happening right now, that's your cover, your permission slip, that's your green light to move. That's your sign to act. Am I being called to do something different, or am I just having a freaking breakdown, a mental breakdown? You're probably having both. Your breakdown is pretty much you trying to remind yourself that this is a moment that you need to really pay attention. You're experiencing a malfunction. It's like a demolition, right? Everything is falling. Your soul is tearing down. All your structures are falling so that we can make way for this whole new updated building, right? Which question is haunting you right now? Is it, should I trust myself? I feel alone. Should you stay or should you go? Should I stay or should I go now? Are you having a beauty in the breakdown or a calling? What are you guys feeling right now? What's your biggest doubt? What doubt do you have within right now? What's the one thing that came to mind when I asked that? You can, you guys were very verbal earlier. Whatever it is, your soul is actually trying to tell you, okay, you know what? Let's go deep. What's actually trying to happen right now, both in the world and within you? Personally, I believe in three things, and those were the three things that appeared at very important stages of my life and my whole journey. My journey that I'm still going through and that I'm still sharing. And that because I believe so much in what I'm telling you, I'm married already, I'm sorry. Because I believe so much in what I'm telling you, I'm actually saying these things even after getting trolled so many times. And I'm not gonna stop. Even after I had this fucking shit in my face that made me stop doing it for a little bit. And the day I said I wasn't gonna fucking have this shit in my face anymore, it started to go away. Because all that was just making me doubt of what I was doing. And why am I doubting when I already know that what I'm doing is true? Nobody's been in my shoes, so nobody knows. Nobody can tell me any different. When you're conscious, nobody can control your thoughts. Nobody can control your actions because you already know. Nobody can lie to you because you already know. Personally, I believe in three main spirits. They're pretty much the ones that teach you the threshold, which is Hecate, Santa Muerte, and Mary Magdalene. And all three of them are active right now. And you can feel their energy literally by going outside. Hecate stands at the crossroads, okay? She's pretty much the three faces of the past, present, the future, and she sees all the abundant paths that are right in front of you, ready for you to choose, but you keep choosing the same one. And she's calling you. She's pretty much standing next to all of us that are feeling all this damn shift. All right. Fuck it. I don't have a mic right now. Because this is all the crazy stuff that's been happening. So, what's happening right now, or what is she doing? She's pretty much showing you what used to be, what's supposed to be, and the path that's crumbling right in front of you, right? What's appearing in front of you. And they're paths that we probably didn't even see before because our perspective grew, or our narrow vision or our tunnel vision expanded, right? And there's new paths that started appearing before we could even see them because we were too committed to the old ones, right? We were too stuck in the same fucking cycle. And now she's asking you, I got this standing right in front of you. She's asking, what are you ready to see now that you couldn't see before? What options exist that you told yourself that weren't possible, or that you made yourself believe that were not possible? Was it working for yourself instead of working for someone? Was it leaving a family that's toxic, that has a toxic system, a toxic culture that only undermine you or that make you question your worth? Are you moving somewhere completely new and unknown? Or are you choosing peace over approval? Because that's what I'm choosing. I was a little chameleon because I was always trying to fit all these molds, and none of them were me because technically there wasn't a mold for me, and I'm okay with that. I'm like that box of chocolate. You don't know what you're gonna expect. You don't know. You never know what you're gonna get. Sorry. One day I could be angry. Well, actually, I don't have those days anymore. I'm usually singing in the car. And the chaos, it's literally showing you all these options. It got this saying, look, there's more paths. What are you going to do, buddy? And that's where Santa Muerte comes in. She's the comadre, and she's like, mijo, you fucked up, mijo. I'm going to tell you the truth. She's the one. Me enojo, me frustro. With my mom, I am going to admit, I get frustrated because sometimes she expresses her worry as criticism, but that doesn't mean I love her less. I can't change her, but I need her to meet me halfway because at some point I'm going to get tired and I'm just not going to interact. I'm not going to share because you shouldn't have to repeat yourself. You need to set boundaries. And if those people, even if it's your mom that can't follow that boundary, does it do you good? Is it something that hurts you? Is it something that makes you question your worth? Because it makes me question mine. It makes me question my actions, what I'm doing. So I chose, you see, and that's another thing. We're going to start arguing right here because, you see, my mom is always trying to play the victim. And I'm going to say it out loud because it's the truth. I don't blame my mom for my shortcomings. I don't think it's her fault. I think that my shortcomings are because I was let to figure shit out by myself. And I did. And instead of falling into addictions that my mom swore, my mom is so easy to say, I had to pull over at the corner of this street because I thought you were a druggie that was over there with some group of people, knowing, first of all, that at 5, that during that time, I go to sleep at 8 o'clock at night. Right now it's past my bedtime. But she swore that I was up and about. I was the type of person that as soon as I got home from work, that I don't want to come out again. The fact that it was so easy to get off and call my name shows me and tells me that that is so easy to have that idea of me. But nobody's ever here to say, let me see what you have to say. You know what? It is true. Everybody assumes, but nobody takes the time. And that's why we have to learn to sit with our mistakes and to learn that it's not our fault. It's not my mom's fault. It's not my dad's fault. That's all they knew. And I don't blame them. I'm not mad anymore. But because people do not know how to acknowledge the role they played in your life, they turn it around. And it becomes well, you did this, but I didn't do this. Or every time you do this, that's when it comes. And the thing is that you need to cut that because that's just old habits trying to pull you in. So I'm not going to let that distract me from what I'm trying to say right now. Right now, what I'm trying to tell you is that Santa Muerte comes in and she tells you, you know what? Here's the truth, buddy. All the people that you thought supported you and cared for you really don't trust you. They think that you're a crackhead who doesn't know what they're doing with their lives, with their life. And maybe they're right. And it's uncomfortable to hear that, or to think, shit, I had this whole idea of my family being so close, yet they're the reason why I'm so fucked in the head, why I doubt myself so much. All that, the sexual abuse, the trauma, the denying it, the fear of talking about it, and not being believed. When I came out to being gay, my mom said to me, I don't want people to know because I'm scared that they're going to be mean to you. I understood it then, but that made me angry now, because I'm like, okay, so just because people don't want to feel uncomfortable, I have to stop being who I am? No. And that is not my mom's fault. She wanted to protect me, but that was her culture being passed on to me. That I cannot feel things because they're going to be uncomfortable and they're going to make people uncomfortable. Instead of saying, go for it, mija. Like, I'm going to support you all the way. Anybody says shit to you, I'm going to pop them in the face. Because that's the type of person that I am. And you know what I was labeled? As intense. My mom is on here right now. She was actually talking about how she needs to put her limits with me. And the thing is that she doesn't hear it. And I love her. But she needs to do her work, because she's not going to stop blaming me and thinking that, how am I supposed to know how to react? Think about it. When you blame your kids for their actions, you're the ones that's supposed to raise them. A 5-year-old is not going to know how to react to sexual abuse. When you say, why didn't they say anything? Look back into everybody's history. Everything is hush hush. Don't break the family image, isn't it? When we're supposed to support our kids, we're supposed to water our kids, to allow them to grow into something that maybe we couldn't be because we weren't encouraged that way. That's why we're here right now. That's why people don't want to work. It's not that they don't want to work. They value themselves more. Because they know that it's not right to be fucking talked like down to by a stranger. Everybody gets mad because they're losing control of people. People are starting to have a voice. People are starting to say no. What's the first thing that somebody does when their girlfriend wants to go out? And you get mad because, let's say your girlfriend's going to go out with her friends, and then you said no and she still went. You're like, how dare she? Your insecurity is making you imagine that she's out cheating on you, when in reality, she's being her own person. The person that you fell in love with. And when you're trying to contain the person you fell in love with, you fucking self-sabotage. Your insecurities break everything. So think about it, okay? Santa Muerte tells you the truth. She tells you, ¿sabes qué, compa? Aquí no es. She tells you the truth about your family, about yourself. She tells you, you know what, motherfucker? You're fucking selfish. Or you're a sociopath. I feel like I was psychotic at some point, that I was a narcissist. Maybe I am. Maybe I come off as a narcissist because I think that I value myself too much now to accept any less. And once Santa Muerte shows you the truth, it's gonna hurt like a bitch. But you can either stay in it and remember and be the victim and pity you, or you can say like, nah. The brighter I shine, I don't know. I can't rhyme right now. But think about it. Don't people get mad? The ones that haven't done the work. They start hating on somebody that's doing better. And they start thinking, oh, he's probably selling drugs. Because they want you to stay in that idea that they had of you. I had to break the silence so many times. And a lot of times, well, right now I understand why I didn't do it when I was younger and why it's happening now. Because that foundation or that family that I thought I had turned out to only be there whenever there was beer. Exactly. I don't know if you noticed, but there's a lot of people that are hiding away in their rooms and they're not really socializing. And those are the people that start to observe. Magdalena Maria Magdalena, she's the direct knowing. She's pretty much, she had the gnosis or the gnosis, whatever you want. I don't know how to pronounce it. She's pretty much the direct spiritual knowing. She didn't need a priest. She didn't need a intermediate or somebody or a church in order for her to know what she already knew was true. And that's why they erased her. That's why they made her seem like she was a whore. Like she was a prostitute. No, she wasn't, bro. She was the woman of the house. She was the one that had direct knowing that couldn't be controlled. And that's why they wanted to bring her down. When you're aware of something, people are always going to try to make you doubt of your truth. And right now, all this chaos is literally calling for the people that know what's right. And here you are trying to be. She's actually, I believe she's the Holy Grail. I believe female are the higher power because of our intuition. Because we can sense things before they happen. We all have that. Think about it, guys. The CIA spent $20 million during the Cold War and used psychic powers against Russians to see where they were hiding at. Look it up. You're going to tell me that is not true? They just told you to forget. They did the whole Men in Black thing on you and said, hey, it's not true. Why? Because if you're conscious, you cannot be controlled. You cannot be told what to do. You cannot be... In my mind, I'm like, damn, all these people just because they have guns? But then if you think about it, there's a lot more of us. What's the one thing that they said? And this is, I'm not going sides, okay? But I remember seeing a video about how it said that if there was ever a war against Mexico, whoever went to war is going to be screwed because Mexico doesn't just have military, but they have their people. And that's true. The neighbor, if he's a little homie like me, and he sees that you're in trouble, and you said hi to him one time, he's gonna go and fight and beat somebody's ass to help you out. I'm not gonna get into that right now. But anyways, all this nonsense, all this chaos, it's your calling. That's your little sign that you set yourself. That's your soul contract saying, hey bro, we got work to do. Because if you think that you came here to just have material things, you're crazy. You're not. You're here because you set yourself all these obstacles. The harder your life is, let me tell you, boo-boo, you chose those obstacles because you knew you can overcome them, because there was something left for you to learn. And you're right, you're going to keep coming back every single time whenever you don't learn your lesson. Some people learn it the one time they come here. Maybe some of them are closer to it. Mm-hmm. But when you realize that, okay, let's put it this way. Whenever you're like, oh, this is probably going to happen, and you're being so negative, right? And then it happens. And you're like, damn it, I knew it. What if I told you that was you? You did that. That's what I mean when I say that everything that happens is because of you and your choices. You know what to pick, but then you pick something different. That's what would happen with me. I failed like maybe 4 semesters of college because my dyslexia, I didn't know I had ADHD, and my dyslexia would come in. And then I'm also very insecure. So when I had a test, I would ace everything else. But when I had a test, I would fail it miserably. Why? Because I knew what answer I was going to pick, but I would always pick the one that I thought was correct. And guess what? All the fucking answers that I got wrong, the right answer was the first one that I was going to go for. Right now I'm living... I'm sitting right here, spending how much time of my life? And mind you that I started doing this consistently. I did 3 lives a day last week for 6 days. I don't know what happened. It sent an invitation. But anyways. I sent... Sorry, guys. I don't know how much time I've been here. It's been, okay, a whole hour now. I've been here a whole hour. And in reality, I lost my job like what? A bit ago. I don't have a steady income. I'm not even doing this for income. I'm doing this because I know that whatever is coming is going to be okay. Because at one point I was so worried about the material things that I stayed too long in too many places that didn't benefit me, that only broke me, and added more weight and more stress than it took. Everything that I once thought was stable, I let go of it. It all started with me switching from a six-figure income job to not even like 30% of that. Hello, Scar. And I learned to live with less. And I learned to not need so much. And I learned that I can still be happy, that I'm actually happier. Because if you think about it, you get a new car because you want people to see you in your new car, you're doing better, right? But they don't pay your bills. You know, I let go of my Jeep. I've always wanted a Jeep. That was my dream car, and I was lucky enough to be able to have my first one when I was like 27. It was a two-door Jeep Sahara, 2007. It was a piece of shit engine, but I had the Jeep I wanted. It was this beautiful burgundy, and I loved it. And then when it started to act up, I was fortunate enough to find a 17 Jeep Wrangler Sahara four-door with the beautiful tan, black tone interior, hardtop. I love my things stock. So that one it didn't have stock wheels, but it didn't look too crazy. And I was able to enjoy it. And then you know what? It was a point where I was like, you know what, I'm struggling with my bills. Maybe it's time to let go of the Jeep because I don't even get to drive it as much. I'm always working. And I let go of it. Ironically, a couple weeks later, I lost my job. So maybe I felt like something was happening, or maybe I just prepared myself. If I would have been stubborn and said, no, I'm going to keep my Jeep, I would have been in a pickle. And I don't know how, but one way or another, I've made it through this time. And I ended up being associated with people that were just angry at the fact that I was happy. Even though my life was falling apart right before my eyes. But you know what? If my part or my I am talking to you guys about my personal experience, like I am not lying to you. I can show you my bank account right now. I have like 40 cents in there. I went from driving a 17 Jeep. I can show you my garage. My wife has a 2009 Honda Fit. And I ended up getting a car that I haven't even paid off. Because one of the people that I worked with, I've been blessed to see and meet so many people along the way. He's been really cool with me and he's helped me hold off on me until I'm able to give him more in car payment. But I have a 2002 Kia Spectra. And it's like, yeah, sure. Oh, okay. And then I wanted a bike. I didn't even have income. I didn't even have money to buy this bike. And a week later, I got it. I got it at home. I'm 36. I just turned 36 on the 2nd of January. So what's happening right now? Pretty much everything is falling. Your stable life, my stable life fell. And maybe I could panic, I could crumble, I could like be miserable and say, thank you, Daniel. Everywhere, everyone's falling apart, but you know what? I showed up because I feel like everything started to shift and started to make way because I started to treat everybody how I would have wanted somebody to treat my inner child at some point. And I started to realize that we're all adults throwing a tantrum. We're all kids that didn't receive enough love or attention, that we want to make it everybody else's problem instead of our own. Thank you, Chanel. Everything is falling apart. And there was times that I've said to my mom many times, you know, Mom, My sister lived here with me, and when I was going through my darkest times, I could have been dead for days, and they wouldn't have found out until the smell came out. Because nobody would check on me. But they complained how I didn't show up to family events. Nobody asked me how I was doing. My mom didn't know what I was going through until like 6 months later because the holidays were coming. And I had to tell her. There's many holidays that I just spent at home by myself. And it's okay because maybe that time it wasn't meant to be. I wasn't meant to be with family or something, I don't know. And the way I see it is, maybe I didn't have a job, or I don't have a job. Sorry, that's bad. Maybe I didn't have, or I lost my job because at some point I needed to have enough time for myself, because being with my ADHD and everything, I overwhelm myself. And I'm too hard on things that I don't complete throughout the day. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna start small habits. And I was able to complete a week. It felt wrong when I didn't do it for one day. And it motivated me to know that somebody was benefiting it in some way from it. It makes me, it's a euphoric feeling whenever somebody tells you, you know what, dude, you totally changed my mindset. Somebody that knew you or that knew me when I was a horrible person and sees the changes that I've made within my life and is completely genuine about it. I didn't like criticism. And now it's like, okay, I can work on that. So your soul is pretty much telling you all that like anxiety, the panic that you feel, it's pretty much your soul like screaming to trying to hold on to that past, right? Because it's scared of the new things, because we're scared of the unknown, right? Personally, I'm trusting the process. I'm pretty much letting my soul guide me. I'm going with my gut feeling. Even today, I was gonna wear some green shoes, and I was like, I thought about the red ones first, so I'm gonna go for the red ones. Because I couldn't find a red shirt, so because I wanted to wear a white one. And then, well, I wanted Cali Uchis, and then I got my sneakers, and I was like, I wanted to wear something green, but I didn't. So then I noticed that the red shoes caught my attention. And there's many things, like there's days when I felt the shittiest, and random people come up to me and they tell me, you're gonna do great things. People that I don't even know. The days that I just needed to hear them. I have so many step grandparents from the places that I've worked. There's people that I've only met once. And I know for a fact that if I see them somewhere in the street, I know for a fact that they caused an impression on me and that I caused an impression on them. Moving forward, pretty much what's happening is that we're looking at we're in the threshold, pretty much, in the in-between, the dark and the light. What's right and what's wrong. The old and the new, right? And that's why I'm here. I'm here to tell you, trust your intuition. I'm here to tell you, I've done it. I'm not here to try to sell you shit. I'm doing what feels me because I figured, you know what? I'm the person that wasn't going to believe. I'm the person that would always go cringe about Jesus talk. I used to do cover videos. If you go to my YouTube page, I used to do little acoustic cover videos. That's what my YouTube was about. I actually took a bunch of videos off because they were cringe. I knew that I wanted to be heard, but I didn't know how. And I took all the bad that I went through, and I was like, you know what? Fuck this. Fuck this. I don't want to feel like this again. I don't ever want to question if I'm enough. I know I'm enough. And it scares people that I'm enough. And maybe this person, I started to see my flaws as, you know, that wabi sabi, I think it's called, where you find beauty in the imperfections. Think about it. Just simply think about where you were before, how all the things that got you to where you are right now, that you're listening to me right now. Think about it. There was times that I didn't think I was going to be out of it, that I was never going to feel different, that I was never going to not be sad. It sounded like an impossible thing to do. it feels weird to be so confident, like genuinely confident. And it's awesome to see how little things are happening the way that I want them to happen. Whenever you just do this one thing, something small, something that maybe is easy peasy, but don't doubt yourself, not even one bit. Just give yourself that one goal and say, you know what? I'm doing this, whether you're started or not. I can assure you that by the end of the week, you're gonna amaze yourself. You have more potential than you give yourself credit for. It's all around us, but we just choose to take whatever is acceptable, right? Whatever doesn't seem like we're gonna stand out. I want to stand out. It's fucking boring being the same. Imagine dating a person that's literally just like you. What joy is there? What joy is there in already knowing what's gonna happen? Que hueva. You can get consumed forever in your little victim stage, or you can watch this live. You can watch my YouTube and listen to my whole story. I put them in English and in Spanish. Or you can just collect knowings, videos, information, and just know that it's there, but not really do the work, or you can actually do it. Can you rate my new PFP? I don't know what that is, but I mean, sure. Definitely. I mean, I can definitely do that, shake chain. Oh, of course, yeah. Yeah, I can totally do that. Sorry, I'm not too familiar with the terms of the new crowd. I think I'm a little old school. For the longest time, it's Chio, so it's let me write it down here. I don't know how to write. No mames. Oh, all I gotta do is look at it. It's a cool picture. I mean, I would say a 7. I mean, right? Let me put my thingy here. Oh, you know what? I have it on my clipboard. There you go. How can be them digits? No, I'm married. I'm sorry, man. But look, guys. Oh man, my fucking charger. Give me 1 second, cause my bad. Oh, pickles. No. Sorry. Sorry. My phone is about to die, so I want to make sure that it does not die. Oh man, turned off the light. If you guys are gonna be watching my lives, you must know that I'm a very unorganized person. But it's okay, cause your friendly gay is here. Alright. So I put my YouTube page there. And sorry about that. Not bad. So yeah, so pretty much what we're doing is we're sitting at a crossroads, okay? And it's our time to choose, guys. Like, before we get into other subjects, it's our time to choose, okay? And if you're questioning yourself, if, like, I'm feeling a little funky, we're all going through it. There's people that go through this and they go into habits, they go into drugs, they go into a bunch of shit, right? You have a choice. Nobody else can do the work for you. Nobody else can walk your path. Nobody else can choose for you. Whenever you have something that you're doubting, ask yourself, is this doubt mine? You know what? I've noticed right now, think about it. We're passing our trauma to our kids. And sometimes our generation, my age, people that have kids my age right now, we're ruining our fucking kids, let me tell you. Why? Because we needed so much care for that we overcompensate our kids and we make them into useless kids, into grown-up babies. I was in an environment where I would see grown-ass 18, 19-year-old kids having their mom fill out an application for them. They had the car, but then they had to call daddy to pay for the service. And here in town, we haven't had as much crime as there is right now. Somebody thought that they could beat a car up with their legs, so the guy decided to run him over, or try to, and hit a pole and then just drove off or whatever. And it's crazy because it's like, those are your kids. Like, people, like, handle, please. This is why we need to do our inner work, guys, because you guys have kids, and them kids are out there fucking causing a scene. And you know what, guys? I truly believe that kids that cause things for no reason, that just go up and bang bang a place for no reason, I think their parents should be held accountable too. Oh shit, I was like, what the hell is that Woody Woodpecker? That was me. That was me. Okay, Pickles, what do you want? I have my favorite pants on. They have this hole, but it's like, they're my favorite, okay? I have shorts. Think about it, guys. We all have the same ideas. We all have the same thoughts sometimes. We all fucking imagined unicorns at some point, right? Think about it. How is it that we get all this shit? When you guys saw Matrix, so does your wife? Yes, of course she does. I have 3 stepkids. That's what I'm talking about, like. My wife is gorgeous. Gotta say. She's like a mixture of the Marias and my wife is, yeah. My wife looks like the Marias and the one from Beetlejuice. Like while she's in Beetlejuice. She's gorgeous. I feel like she's too gorgeous for me. I don't even know how I get gorgeous wives. Like, must be funny or something. What's going on right now? What do you mean? And over there? Right now, Pickles is being extra. Frida, we're trying to teach her to use her words instead of yelling. But Frida thinks that everything is obtained by yelling. She's in the spectrum, so we're trying to teach her about her emotions. It's cute though, because she sometimes surprises me. She'll do her breathing techniques that I don't know where she learned on her own. She's too smart for us. And that's why she yells, because she gets away with certain things. With my Jeep, she used to tell me, let's go to the mountains. Because I took her off-roading once and she loved it. And that's honestly another thing that I've learned, that I catch myself acting like how my dad used to act with me, and I hate it. We complain about our parents so much, but then we act like them, and we don't even see it. And it's crazy because my wife tells me all the time, you and your mom are always arguing, but you guys, We are actually working with a program right now where she's actually very obedient when it comes to going out. She listens, but she likes to mess with us. One time she ran. I told she knows what to do. We went to the doctors the other day and she was like whispering, and then we told her be patient and sit down. And she sat down and she said be patient. She likes to sing to Gloria Trevi. Frida! Frida! All right, now she's just sleepy, I think. We try to take her out, but sometimes she gets overstimulated. She loves car rides, to be honest. She'll put her headphones on. We gotta put some Earth, Wind, and Fire, and then she's all down for it. She likes old school rock too. And then she likes Mexican music too. She likes to sing to Gloria Trevi, but pretty much right now, we're at a point where we need to decide what you're gonna do with your life. If you're gonna have your old patterns, you can be a believer or whatever you want. At the end of the day, Frida! Frida! Let me show you who. Frida! She's like Frida Kahlo. She has a unibrow. Ven, Frida! Frida! Ven, mama! She's like little Mowgli. Why are you sad?
Because I want to.
Because you want to? You want to play? No. You see? And then that's Avery. And then, yeah. You see how she just cries? She's like using her words, but then she's sad and she's covering her ears because she doesn't like when Pickles barks. Alright, you guys can go to sleep now. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. She said she's sad because she wants to. But I'm sad because you guys don't want to do our work, honestly. I want you guys to be happy, to not be... Tell me, what can you do when you, when you lose sleep over situations that are already said and done? What do you gain out of it? Oh yeah, she's a character. Let me tell you, Frida is a character. Avery's a character too. But I think, seeing Frida grow, it's she was nonverbal for a while, and then she said one day, I'm not going to use the high chair. She sat on, from day to night. And then she got mad at me because I was like, don't yell, just use your words. And that was probably, the first thing she said, use your words. And then she calls me dad sometimes. Because I feel like she gets a little confused with these two girls here playing house. And then, yeah. She likes to go sit with me when I'm watching TV. I could be watching Family Guy or something, and then she'll go and she'll bring a blanket with some waters, and then she'll sit with me, and then you see, but she's just the rebel. And then she'll sit with me, and then she'll cover me up. She calls me dad. Right now she calls me CEO. She's trying to say Rocio, but she calls me CEO. Ocio. She removes the R. And then she calls Ellis. And then Avery. She's a character, let me tell you. She doesn't say much, and then the one time she did, it was I was like, oh shit. She's like, oh shit. Kind of like the little kid from The Parent. What is it? So she doesn't know how to really... Her dad kept her from her mom for a month when she was about a year old. So apparently, from what my wife tells me, she was... No, she just said that one time. She doesn't cuss. Because we told her not. She's actually very obedient. Her dad kept her from her mom for about a month. So she would only see her through FaceTime at times. I started to notice that she started grouping things in little tantrums that she would have. She finally got diagnosed. But apparently that time frame set her back, and she was, for the longest time, she didn't respond to her name. So we would call her name and she just was off. She was in another zone. And right now she's very loving. She's just very. The other day she gave me a kiss, and you know that little meme with Dexter and Dee Dee, where it's like, tell me something, whatever. Well, she gave me a kiss and she's like, donuts, because she wanted donuts. She's a little sweet. She likes cupcakes and donuts and cake. So she's pretty funny. But yeah, guys, they kind of got me off guard, but I appreciate you guys watching. Honestly, I really hope that if any of this resonates, like I'm opening my messages. Go watch my YouTube videos. There's my Facebook as well if you want to watch them in Spanish. Um, I'm just doing this because honestly, there's a lot of times that I thought that I was just weird because I thought things that people didn't dare to say. Until I was like, you know what? Thank you, I appreciate it. Hi. I'm honestly, I'm pretty laid back. I have seen too much. I have seen too much. I'm too aware to like. Everybody has their own luggage. Everybody has their own baggage. Everybody has their own choices. Music. I'm actually a girl, but I embrace my masculinity. Honestly, this is what makes me feel great on bad days, which is um, playing guitar, listening to Anthony Green, City in Color. Actually, right now, I'm listening to a lot of Kali Uchis, and I think Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B are like essential because, especially Cardi B, the ukulele is not that bad. I tried to. Back in the day, I used to try to sing. I did a Chiodos cover when I was in high school. Because I was an emo kid. I'm an emo kid. Not conforming, next to be. You be a conforming too. Just like me. Dallas Green, yep. What is it called? The one. Wait, watch. Not this one. For Dallas Green. I think this one. Let me see. I have. Actually, I don't really like this one. I like this other one. See, when I was sad, I used to think that guitars were gonna fill my heart. So, and I always had this frustrated dream of having a certain type of guitar. And then next thing you know, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 10 guitars, and I don't play any of them. I haven't played them in a long time, so please don't mind the messing up. I have 10 guitars. I know you guys are gonna kill me because I don't think I remember. I know Anthony Green. Let's see. I was learning a song in Spanish. I used to have a ukulele. I don't know. I have this one now. It's a little. I actually had a video on my YouTube where I was playing the ukulele. You guys like Bad Bunny? Isn't it? And then something, and then it goes, I don't know, something like that. I know Mexican songs too. Do you guys like Kelly Uchis? Because Kelly Uchis. I have too many guitars, but I don't know how to play any of them. That's a sad thing. Kelly Uchis is a shit. Let's see. What is it? How does that song go? You're a part to never end. I don't see anyone else. Anthony Green a lot. Maybe you know this song or not. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. I am Hispanic. I am from San Luis Rio Colorado, Sonora. I guess in Mexico it'd be norteña. I'm a northerner from Mexico. In Spanish, I have like me no thick accent. De Sonora, puro Sonora. Ah, man. Let's see. And you guys, if you guys are ever feeling sad, you need to pump some freaking Cali Uchis, because that's the shit, let me tell you. Oh yeah, she is. So I was like trying to think what I was gonna play. Not only that, but I get easily distracted, like, squirrel. Damn. What should we play? Over the Rainbow, let me see. Let me try. I don't even know how it goes. Is it? Okay. Try that. Probably with this one. You can get this from me. Practice it. Maybe next time. Maybe next time. Maybe next time. Oh, I think that the song for whenever you guys are ready to tell the family, like, hey guys, we're living a lie. What is it? But yeah, guys, thank you for being on today. I really appreciate you guys watching for all this time, for interacting. Whatever it is that you're going through, guys, this is why I do it, because I know at some point I wanted to have somebody that told me it was okay, or that kind of understood what I was going through without judging me or thinking that I was crazy. And send me a message or post a comment, tell me something that you want to talk about, or just write a word and we'll figure it out. But I'm here for you guys. Like, I'm not trying to pursue you to believe anything but yourself. I'm not trying to talk to you about God, about a certain religion. Not trying to. I am trying to just have you have faith in yourself as much as you have faith in the things that you believe or the thing that keeps you going. Because everything that we're going through, think about it. Who else but you? Who else but Quagmire? Who else but you guys? If it wasn't you, then who? If you're the black sheep, if you're the one that speaks out, I'm always the one that causes chaos. My last name should have been Contreras, to be honest. Because I'm always going to ask questions. I'm always... If it's not right, if it don't feel right, you best believe you're going to hear about it. Because I don't sleep well. And you don't mess with my sleep. So, be safe, guys. Think about it. You can be invincible. You can be Miss Macho Man. You can be Mr. World Champion of Muscle, whatever you want. Mr. Macho Machista. But if you don't take care of yourself, you can't accomplish anything that you want. You need to rest sometimes. Sometimes you need to take a break. And it's okay. It's okay. Because if other people weren't allowed to do it at some point, guess what? They worked hard for you to be able to deserve the chance. You worked hard to be able to have the chance to give yourself that break. And no day is like too small. There's no accomplishment that's too little. And there's no pain that's too big to undermine anybody else's. Everything that we're going through, we go through it because we need to learn compassion so that we can help others that are in the same situation. I'm always going to refer to that story. I'm going to find it. I'm going to find it, guys. The story of the people that are long spoon. It's an allegory where it says the parable of the long spoon, a universe allegory, often presented as a tale of heaven and hell, where people at a banquet with long-handled spoons either starve, meaning that they're in hell, by trying to feed only themselves, which is what we're doing right now pretty much. We're trying to do everything possible as much as we can for our own personal benefit. The people that are supposed to be guiding us, that are supposed to be in charge of us, don't give a fuck about us. All they want is that green stuff, a material thing that is not going to be with them when they're gone. And for what? Remember the idea that eating babies was crazy? Well, you're in a world right now where that's true. Doesn't matter how much you deny it. In this allegory, whatever you call it, they're starving because they're trying to feed themselves, right? Or they thrive, meaning they're in heaven, by learning to feed each other. Guys, you walk through this. All your adversity, all those obstacles are lessons. You're in training. You're training right now so that you can find what truly makes you happy and continue to do it. And you're going to figure out that what truly makes you happy involves helping other people or creating something that helps somebody else in some way or another. Always treat people how you wish that inner child would have been treated. You're the one that takes care of that little kid inside you. You're the one that's in charge. Nobody else is going to fit in your shoes. Your whole experience was fit just for you. And you chose it. Whenever you wonder, why the fuck is this happening to me? Ask yourself, what choices am I making that continue to lead me to this path? Because that's what I started asking. Man, I hated myself for so long. I felt disgusting. I would have never got on camera with my face like this. But you know what? The moment I started doing it more, weird shit started to happen. Weird messages started coming in of people who didn't want me to do this. And with more reason. I'm gonna do it with more fucking reason, be more consistent, and expand what I have to say as much as I can. If I have the time to do it now, then so be it. It was meant to be now. And if you stay to watch my nonsense, to hear me rant, it's because something resonated or because, you're feeling it too. You're just choosing not to listen to it. And I'm here to tell you that it's okay. I believe you. I felt it too, and I'm still going through it. And I'm offering my experience to support yours. I'm giving you the validation that you probably need to give yourself, that you really do need to give yourself. If you ever feel like you need to talk, if you just need to vent, send me a voice message, because when you listen to yourself say the things that are worrying you, you have a bigger picture. You hear clearly what you're saying. You listen to yourself and you listen to the lines or the things that you wish you had the courage to do. You already know what you need to do. And I trust that you can do it. And you need to trust yourself too, because that little move that you make, that little thing you do, is gonna make your whole life change. And it's okay to make mistakes. That's the point. How boring is it if you already know what you're supposed to do, what your purpose in life is? Here we are trying to figure out, what is the purpose of life? All these freaking philosophers. But all you had to do is sit with your mistakes. Sit with your shame. And say, alright, Rocio, what are we going to do with this shit? Are we going to continue doing this, man? Because this is not working, bro. And it's okay. Who are you benefiting by being resistant to it? You're only messing yourself up. You're blocking yourself from all the blessings that you're supposed to receive and accepting that. Because that's when you truly show up for yourself. That's all that matters. You can't walk other people's road, and nobody can walk yours. Everybody's got to do it their own way. You can only guide them. So I'm not gonna read. I'm here. I'm opening my space. Send me a message. I can't say I'm gonna answer right then and there, but you know what? I'm gonna listen to it, and I'm gonna give you my whole attention the second that I reply to it. I don't mind, because I know that it's not my pain to carry, but I can help you lay everything out so that you can see things clearly. You already know the answer. You just need somebody to tell you that it's okay sometimes. Maybe you just need that external validation. But I'm here to tell you that I want you to tell yourself first, so that when you say it out loud, you believe it. Because the second that you stop believing, you throw in all that bad vibe. You're watching, you're listening, you continue to listen, you're curious, because it's supposed to be that way. I used to question myself all the time if I was actually supposed to be here, if I was doing the right thing. And the joy that I felt when I knew that I helped somebody, that was the reassurance that I just needed, that I knew. It's like my whole life I know that I had to help people in some way, but I didn't know how. I didn't know how, when there were so many things that blocked me from getting far. When I didn't realize that those were the things that I needed to go through and experience fully in order to understand, or to actually get to the path where I'm headed to right now. I don't know what tomorrow's gonna happen. And I'm okay with that. For the first time in my life, I'm okay in not knowing, because I want to be surprised. I think I deserve that. I want to be surprised with good things. And that's all that's going to come my way from now on. And you just watch, you just wait and see. And if you're curious and don't believe me or whatever, just wait and see. I'm going to show you, I'm going to document everything. I have journals. I have videos that I saved. I have books. I tried everything and anything. I didn't look for drugs because I knew that if I did, especially something synthetic, I would have probably drowned in it, because I knew that I was a very obsessive person. And in reality, all I needed was to feel embraced, or to feel loved. I needed my mom to love me. But in order to understand that she does, I needed to understand her past. Because her past answered a lot of my questions. And it made me realize that we're all learning as we go. And that my questions that I demanded her to answer when I was little and my dad was taunting me and she didn't do anything about it, they were all answered. And I let go of all that guilt, all that pain. I even feel bad for my dad now. He died, and I forget he died because it's been that long. Well, it hasn't been that long, but he just hasn't been around. Well, of course you can't know, but he hadn't been around before that. But I'm not angry at him anymore. And when people think they know what I feel sad for them because how can you tell me what you know or what you think you know about me when you haven't experienced anything similar? When you haven't even been able to recognize your mistakes? Think about it. And look into Mary Magdalene, guys. Look into those signs. Maybe those things. Hecate, I had to write a paper about her when I was in 7th grade. I didn't even know who she was. All I remember was this female that was pretty much the female version of Hades. And it was because my teacher then, we didn't have I didn't have 8th grade English. Because my teacher then was just kicking it in the back. It was kind of like homeroom, I guess. And the day that she said, well, I gotta grade you guys on something. She assigned us all Greek goddesses and mythology creatures and all these other stuff. And I got her. She said, I think you need to get this one. She reminds me of you. And that paper, I think I saved that report because I liked it so much. I was really proud of that. And then fast forward to last year, and it's everywhere. She's everywhere. I didn't know about her. And she's everywhere. I mean, I had to... And you know what's crazy? She walks with 2 dogs. She has 3 faces. For a long time, I had 2 dogs. It was just me and my little pack. For a long time, it was just me and my 3 dogs. And they are all... Well, it was me and my 2 dogs and a cat. I have a black cat, I have Pickles, I had Pulga and Satanas. And Pulga, she just recently passed. And it was in a very... it was before the end of the year, sorry. And ironically, she was like very sensitive. She always tried to keep the peace. She always tried to not disturb anyone, right? And it was a very important moment in my life. Not just because I lost her, and because literally the day before I was talking to her and telling her that I didn't know what I was gonna do if she left. And when I woke up the next morning and she was fine. She was 100% healthy. And she was just laying in the kitchen dead. You know, dogs are here to send us, to protect us. And for some reason, my dogs have always been hurt whenever something bad is coming my way or whenever something bad is being blocked. So I feel like in some way, Hecate allowed me to have some of her dogs. And Pulga left because that part of me no longer needed protection. And I embraced that. It hurts like a bitch. But every time I listen to Hasta la Raíz by Natalia Lafourcade, it makes me think about Pulga. And how important, how meaningful she was in my life throughout these 15 years. 15 years of misery. Well, 15 years of acknowledged misery, and then another 14. How old am I? 36? So 11? Oh no, 23. I'm really mad at math. 21 of static. And when I was younger, man, I have too many stories. I could be here all night. But I just want to say thank you so much for listening. Go to my page. I have a post pin of my YouTube page, and then I'm gonna just leave it here real quick for you guys. If you want to watch my whole nonsense, all the stories that I have of my personal experience, because you know what? I'm not gonna come here and tell you guys, ya después that I'm done with it. Nah, ni mergas. I'm gonna come and tell you guys while I'm going through it, when I'm at my worst, so that you can see that I'm not fucking with you. I'm only telling you because I love you. And because I've been there before. I know how it feels. And you're not crazy. You're not... No. You're not crazy. You're not alone, and I hear you. I'm here for you guys. I'll be back tomorrow, probably around the same time. I'll see what we send me a message and tell me what you guys want to go further into. Or if you have something that you need help with, I can do my best to help you out. I'm here for you guys. I'm thinking about. I know there's too many people that don't want to share things on the comments and stuff, so I don't know. Believe me, there's a lot more people that are starting to wake to the truth that, and it doesn't have to do about conspiracy theories or anything. It's just your inner worth, yourself. And my goal is to support you guys, to give you guys that support, that little good job that we all need. Because I know I didn't have it. And I would have loved to have it in some way. So take care, guys. Make sure you drink some water, eat your veggies, take a shower. Make sure you scrub that butt because you don't want to have a stinky butt. See you guys tomorrow. Thank you for watching.